Let's use our knowledge of finding common denominators to play a game. It's called Lineup. And this is a competitive game played in a group with anywhere from 2 to 4 players. To play a game of Lineup, each group will need a set of lineup cards, and each player will need their own lineup card holder and a piece of scratch paper and pencil. If players have not made their lineup card holders, make sure to view the video instructions showing how to make them before you play this game. If everyone is ready, the first step with your group is to cut out all of the lineup cards. Then organize them into a pile. When you are ready to begin the game, find an area to sit in a circle. Each player should have their lineup card holder and a piece of scratch paper and pencil. Choose one person in the group to be the dealer. The dealer will rotate every time you play. The dealer starts out the game by passing out one card to each player. As players receive the card, they should place it in the first slot of the card holder. When everyone is ready, pass out a second card to each player. The second card should be placed in the second slot of the card holder. Continue this process, passing out one card at a time, until every player has 7 cards lined up in their card holder. Place the remaining cards face down in a pile in the middle of the circle. The objective of the game Lineup is to have all of the cards arranged from least to greatest in the card holder. However, you cannot move the cards in your card holder. So, how do you get them lined up? Well, during the game, players will take turns swapping out cards and trying to be the first one to get their cards in order from least to greatest. Let's go over how the game is played. Once everyone has received their cards, take a couple of minutes to review the cards in your lineup holder. Remember, you can't move the position of any of the cards, but you can come up with a game plan thinking about what cards are already in good spots and which cards you will want to get rid of when you have the opportunity. Let's zoom in and take a look at the dealer's card holder. As you review the dealer's cards, consider looking at the fraction model that's on the card. You can also use scratch paper and find common denominators in order to compare your fractions. Can you spot any cards that are out of order? These 3 cards seem to be in the wrong positions. The dealer will definitely want to swap these cards out when the game begins. Remember, all 7 cards must be in order from least to greatest, so it's helpful to have smaller values closer to 0 near the beginning and larger values closer to 1 whole near the end. After every player has had a couple minutes to review the cards that they were dealt, it's time for the game action to begin. The dealer will go first, picking up the top card from the card pile in the middle of the circle. The dealer picked up the card 11/12. They think to themselves, "Can I use this card? If so, which card will I trade out?" 11/12 is a really big fraction. It's nearly 1 whole, and it's even bigger than the fraction 5/6. So, the dealer can trade out 5/8 for 11/12. The dealer will discard 5/8, laying it face up next to the card pile. And that completes the dealer's turn. Now it's time for the second player to go. The second player can choose to take that discard, 5/8, or to choose a new card from the top of the pile. In this case, player 2 does not need the 5/8 card, so they will pick a new card from the top of the pile. And just like the dealer, Player 2 will review that card and determine whether or not it is helpful. Player 2 wants to keep that card. They will trade it out with another card from their lineup holder and place that card face up at the top of the discard pile. When it's time for the third player to go, they can choose the card that player 2 discarded or choose a new card from the pile. They cannot choose the card that the dealer discarded because that's no longer at the top. As the game continues, don't worry if you run out of cards from the pile. Just keep the top card from the discard pile, and then mix up all of the discards below and place them face down to form a new stack of cards. After each player has had a few more turns, this is how the dealer's card holder looks. Only one card is not in the right order. The dealer just needs to pick that right card, and they will win. The dealer will pick a card from the top of the pile. It's 9/10. Does that work? No, 9/10 does not work in that spot. The dealer will discard 9/10, and now it's time for player 2. Player 2 shouts out, "Line up!" in excitement. That was the card they needed to win. When a player thinks they have won the game, they call out, "Line up," and then they must share their cards with the other players so that they can make sure the cards line up. In this case, player 2's work checks out. Player 2 has won the game. But don't worry if you didn't win this time. Just keep trying. You'll get 'em next time. And now you're ready to play Line Up.